Hi there. I created a script for rendering from Katana without having to use the command prompt or the CMD line. So I'll just be putting you through how to use this Katana batch renderer using the UI aspect of it. So as you can see, we have the option to load batch file. So you can easily pick any of your batch files to load from. I'll just load my batch file for my desktop. So you can see that my batch file has been loaded up, and it shows which of the batch files. So it's going to render this for Arnold with Katana 7. So it's going to try to load Arnold, right? Because I don't have Arnold set as my environment variables, so I just created a batch file. So it's optional. So if I choose not to use the batch file, I think I can just erase that. Yeah, so you see that it's writing using default Katana bin. So it will use the one that is declared in the environment variable of your computer. So if you don't actually load any file into this, so use the default one declared in your environment variable. And if you have a batch file, you can just load that in. So you can also load your Katana file. Just browse. You can browse, look for any of your Katana files, and just load that in, and it will come in, right? So if you try to click the add to queue, you need to provide Katana file and the frame range. Those are the two important files. If you try to start render, it would say please add it to the queue first. So I think I could just do this. So I loaded a file, maybe if like frame 1, and I click render node should be render, right? This is for if I have like ground state variables that I want to add. So I can just add an entry where I put in my variable, let's say shot, variable shot. I put in the value of the shot 1001. So if you just render with that ground state variable, I can add multiple entries of ground state variable. I can remove that. I don't have a ground state variable for this particular file. So I can have render flags. If I have additional render flags from Katana's website for the batch scripts that I want to include as part of my render, I can also include that as well. If I want to reuse my render process, right, it's just by toggling this switch. So I can actually, once this is selected, I didn't have a batch file. I'm just using the one that comes with that is declared in my environment variable. Once I click add, it has been added to the queue, right? And if I come over to the queue part, I can see that my file has been added to the queue. So it shows the ID, shows the Katana name, file name, shows the frame range, the render node, if I have ground state variables, if I have any render flags, and the batch file that is being used. So you can see that it's default. So let me see if I can load in another batch file. Alright, so this is another batch file. Once I add this to the queue, you can see that it's been added to the queue and it carries the name of the batch file. So another thing I can do is I could have multiple stuffs to the render queue, right? And if I want to move that up, I just drag. You see that the ID changed. 4 is now the frame range of 4 is now above. With the batch file, I can also do that to readjust that just by dragging. Right. Alright, and I can actually click from anywhere. I can click my start render button, and you can see from here that it shows starting render. I can also click stop render, pause render. I can remove the render from queue. Once the render is started, you can see that the render does not get grayed out, and we get status showing done rendering or currently rendering, or which other one is queued for rendering. So we can actually stop the render, and it's right stopped render. I can also pause the render. Let me add another queue and then start. You can also pause the render. The render is pausing, and then you can resume the render, which would continue the render process. So we also have the log part where you can actually see what is going on in your logs, your render process also as well. So I think, yeah, that's just about it. Then yeah, you can save out your file as a preset. Let me just try to save this out to my desktop. So let's say test preset. Right, so once I try to load, let me see if I could load a separate preset that would not be the same as this one. Yeah, I think this is different. So when I try to load the new preset I just saved on my desktop, notice the ground state variable is cleared, the render process is active, and the frame range is changed before, like I had in my firmware, and my BAT file has been changed to the one I selected before, so as my Katana file. So yeah, that's just about it. I hope you enjoyed it too. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.